Hi, this is Juno. She's just gonna nap by me when I talk. So, it's like kind of rainy this morning. I'm probably going to go on a hike, but I just, right away this morning I woke up and knew that I needed to do a DI, and I did the health and body one from the daily practice. And I've done that one a few times when I'm feeling triggered that I'm sick or there's something wrong with me, and I'm realizing through this work that that is probably one of my biggest blockages that I struggle with, and it's just like so illuminating to my entire family's line of blockages, basically. Meaning that this blockage of me feeling like I'm sick and there's something wrong with me, I just see it. My mom has it. I feel like my younger sister is has it, honestly, and it's like really sad. I don't want her to be struggling either, especially because we see our mom struggle. We saw her mom, our grandma, struggle, and we never met our great grandma, but I know that she also struggled, and my mom's sister too. And it's just like I cannot let that go on any longer. I've already struggled a lot of my life with health issues, and I shouldn't say a lot of my life, my entire life. And I'm realizing this blockage. I mean, my mom obviously received it from her mom, and I don't know when that was like really imprinted on her. But for me, after I was born, I mentioned this in my previous video yesterday, but after I was born, I was only like 3 days old, and my mom had noticed in my cheek that my cheek was like kind of swollen, just like, right here. And I've been to a children's hospital since I was just like days old, and people trying to figure out what's wrong with Haley. Well, it turns out I have a really rare tumor that has absolutely no effect on my life, like whatsoever. At this point in time, I had a treatment on it, and I'm just extremely blessed and lucky that you can't even tell that I have a tumor, really. My cheek might be a little bit swollen sometimes, but it's just crazy compared to what I've seen, and what this tumor could potentially be. It's, for anyone that cares, it's called a lymphangioma. It's just like a lymphatic malformation type of tumor. And just seeing other people that have it, like children that were born with it, I mean, a lot of them are extremely deformed in the mouth and neck region and do have a lot of complications. So I just find myself extremely lucky and blessed. But on the other turn of the coin, I literally feel like my entire life growing up was, trying to figure out, is this tumor gonna get worse? Like just watching it and having that kind of like in the back of your mind, like this could get worse. It could keep growing, and that's just what I've been told my whole life. And I mean, not even just like with the tumor, but just the whole idea of, sickness and disease and having something wrong with you. Like, I just feel like I've literally spent my entire life like trying to figure out what's wrong with me, what's wrong with me, and it's just like really obvious too that I like my boyfriend Joe. His energetics around his health are just like entirely opposite of mine, which is ironic, but also, opposites attract. So his type of energetics around his health and body are that he like never has anything wrong with him. He never thinks that anything is wrong with him. He just knows he's healthy and knows his body does what it needs to do to keep him moving along and healthy. And like seriously, the dude never has any health problems at all, or even teeth problems at all. And same with his dad. They don't go to the doctor regularly or the dentist, and they just are very, very healthy people. And I like see that type of energetics in health, and that's what I strive to want. And it's just crazy that I am still having this blockage of there's something wrong with me, and that I'm feeling like I can't achieve perfect health because of all the women in my family on my mom's side do have something wrong with them or some sort of diagnosis. And that's hard to get past because I don't have any healthy expanders in my mom's side of the family at all. Like, I hope to get myself to a point where I am the expander for my family, that I can show them what good health looks like, and that you don't have to take after whoever because that's what you've been told. So that's really what I'm trying to work through. And my one of my biggest manifestations is really having a perfect health. Like, I will say it, I want perfect health. I don't want there to be anything wrong with me. I don't want to feel like there's anything wrong with me. I don't want to, like, today, I'll be honest, and yesterday, I've just woke up and I've had this, like, nagging joint pain in my knees, my ankles, my hips, my elbows, my fingers, my toes, all over, and it's just like, man, I have been in a lot of pain like that before, and I thought that I've worked through it and that it's been past me, and here it is again. And I'm trying to attach it to, some sort of emotion, and really what I'm coming up with is just being self-conscious and having that blockage of there's something wrong with me, and that I will inherit these problems of the women in my family. And I really apparently am not past that, and I'm trying to break it down and get past it, but I really need to find some healthy expanders, that's for sure. And I do think that, my past self is in a way an expander for my current self, because I'm realizing, like, wow, I've really been through a lot of different health things. And I mean, just a couple years ago, I was like almost 100 pounds heavier than I am now. I was in so much pain from my endometriosis and whatever else might have been going on with me. I honestly just think, like, a bunch of stuck emotions in my body, but I have moved past so much of that, where I'm like, seriously, how many bad pain days do I have a month now? Maybe like one, if that. Like, what? That's just mind boggling compared to where I have been. Because I literally was like in so much pain, I was put on medication for pain and ended up with a whole other slew of problems. And it's just like, look where I am. Look where I am now. And how did I get to this point? With the intention of getting to this point. That's what I wanted. I first really, like, I'm trying to think how I got into this whole idea. I think Dr. Andrew Weil is the one who really got me into the idea of just the placebo effect, and that led me to Joe Dispenza, and like both of them have been, really big expanders for me in the sense of just healing yourself through your mind, and I've just really been fascinated by that since, and I'm making it really my mission to heal myself with my mind and teach other people that that is your most valuable tool. And on that note, I just want to like quickly talk about my experience with doing the DIs. So when I actually like am sitting down with my eyes closed doing them at home, or wherever, I get into a really different type of brain state than I do when I'm hiking and doing the DIs. And I think both types of brain states, I feel like are helpful to this process for me. I do feel very like I'm like very tired, like I'm about to pass out, almost like very on the verge of sleeping when I'm doing them, even seated at home with my eyes closed, as opposed to hiking. So that's why I do like hiking more. But I just, the type of experience I have while I'm having my eyes closed doing the DI, it literally feels like when I've had a Reiki session done, where it's just like I literally am like seeing, even with my eyes closed, I'm like seeing like waves of energy flowing to me, flowing away from me, just kind of pulsating and going wherever it needs to go. And that's powerful, and I feel it and that I do need to do the DIs like that just for that purpose. Prior to my little like week off hiatus to this work, I was doing this all the time, and I was like really getting myself in this brain state, and then for whatever reason, it was like hard to get into it. I think I was having some just like anxiety in general, finding it really hard to quiet my mind and get into the DIs, and I think the hiking with the DIs helped me get back into the work here, and I really just like switching it up and doing both, whatever I feel I need, and I'm just kind of going with that intuition. So, main takeaway from today really was just that my blockages are believing that I'm sick and there's something wrong with me. And it's like, it comes up a lot, honestly, where I really just find myself like spiraling, where I, like all of a sudden I have this joint pain. Now I'm on Google searching widespread joint pain, and now I'm looking at rheumatoid arthritis, and I'm thinking in my mind, do I have rheumatoid arthritis? And my mind just, and catching myself is hard. I feel embarrassed and stupid. And I can hear, like, if I, start talking about my health in a negative way to anyone, I can hear people in their voices getting annoyed, or I can just sense that they're annoyed and don't want to listen to me or my health problems. And that, I'm sure, also comes from the fact of, actually having health problems and not having anyone believe you. But also, were those health problems caused by my belief that I had problems? Maybe. One thing that has stuck with me for a long time now is a little boy that I met. He fell off some bleachers and really fell hard, and he has autism, and he just gets up, and he was screaming and crying, obviously because he's a kid, and his demeanor just entirely changed once he stood up. He got up and he's like, I'm healing, I'm healing, I'm healing. And he just stood there with his eyes closed, and he was kind of shaking like this. And then he opens his eyes and goes, I'm healed. And then he just runs off and plays. And that's just powerful to me, thinking we really just underestimate our bodies and our minds. We know that our bodies will heal a cut for us. Why can't our body heal anything else? Literally growing entire new skin is pretty crazy, so I wouldn't really put it past your body to heal other things, and that's the takeaway today. So, thanks for listening.